Hello, this is Wecol Limited from Kenya. We're here to present our solution on supplying cheaper and green energy based on SDG number 7, affordable and clean energy, and based on SDG 1 of no poverty, 8 on decent work and economic growth, and 15 on life on land. I'm here with my teammates, Mr. Tapo Ndongwe, who is our CEO, Georgina Rocco, who is our head of research and development, and myself, Nkata Mutara, who is head of department. So a summary about who Wecol is. We're a Kenyan company that introduces innovative solutions in addressing Africa's growing need for energy. Our mission is to deliver clean, reliable, and affordable energy to Africa with a vision of being the largest energy development company in Africa.
So with Wecol, one of the things that we identified is that Africa is largely energy insecure, especially industries and domestically. So our solution focuses on the industries. So you can notice from our screen that the current forest cover in Kenya is only 7.29, which is a far cry from the 10% cover, which is recommended. So the primary reason for this is deforestation, which has become quite rampant due to the unsustainable sourcing of biomass fuel. This is what led us to come up with a solution which we have come up with, which is biomass briquettes using DRG, energy crops, and agricultural waste.
So our business model is modular and scalable, where in upstream we actually use both energy crops that we get supplied through our partner company Newlands Limited, and as well as sourcing from agricultural waste. So where we come in the conversion and the supply of the biomass fuel in the form of briquettes or pellets, which is sold at just over $122 per ton. And this is earmarked towards industries who are predominantly large consumers. And we want to leverage on blockchain management system, where not only it gives us visibility internally in our internal systems, but also certifies the substitution from unsustainably sourced wood fuel to sustainably sourced biomass fuel, which we produce. And we are in partnership with Telos, who provides us with the infrastructure. And for every unit of energy that is produced, it actually produces a stable coin, which is also tradable.
So as earlier mentioned by my colleague, our primary SDG is affordable and clean energy. But as SDGs are interconnected, it will have an impact on life on land, because we will convert previously marginalized land and use it to grow energy crops. We will also improve the work environment for the local community by providing decent work, which will lead to economic growth, and in turn, it will address SDG 1 of no poverty. Our targets are to improve the energy efficiency for renewable energy, provide universal access to renewable and clean energy, and also to improve and expand the infrastructure and technology used in renewable energy, such as blockchain technology, which we can incorporate in our solution.
In terms of impact, we have impact on people, planet, and profit. First of all, on impact on people, we are capacity building for smallholder farmers that we are engaging to grow the DRG on our behalf. As a result, we also get to increase land value, because we're now utilizing formerly arid and semi-arid land, which will have a multiplier effect on the community. And the most interesting aspect is that as a result of harvesting the DRG, part of it actually serves as animal feed in the nomadic communities that we're targeting. In terms of impact on the environment and planet, there's an issue of carbon sequestration and a reduction in carbon dioxide emissions, reduced surface temperatures due to vegetation cover, and most importantly, reduced soil erosion in those arid areas. And lastly, on the impact on the economy, which I'm terming as profit, will have a reduced 30% savings, because we're now using an alternative for biomass instead of wood fuel, We also have, we open a new activity on arid and semi-arid land because we are utilizing irrigation as a main source of growing these plants. And also there's a return on investment to the developer of up to 20%. But the most interesting aspect about it is that it triggers a multiplier effect on the economy. So we convert marginalized land, we increase the land value, we also create jobs, and as a result, there's improved infrastructure, economic growth, and community development in a nutshell.
Yes, when you look at our the competition, we are actually tackling. We want to displace firewood in the market because although it's cost competitive, it's actually unsustainably sourced. Whereas our solution in terms of energy crops and agricultural waste is both cost competitive and sustainable. And also, when it comes to actual setup, it's actually in terms of cost competitiveness in setup, it's actually superior to solar and geothermal. And to unlock this, we have actually we're rolling out our project in phases, where currently between now and 2024, we intend to target 4,000 tons per annum, directly employ 50 people with a profit over $200,000 per year, sorry. And to unlock this, we need $50,000. But when we transition to phase 2, we actually want to rapidly scale this up with an ask of $6 million and a profit of $2 million with the above matrix. And phase 2 will act as a template now to actually now grow regionally and as well as export. Our go-to-market strategy is currently we have been bootstrapping at 15 tons per day, where we are actually setting this up. So the $50,000 will actually help us finish setting this up and be operational. But at phase 2, we want to actually grow it tenfold. So thank you very much for your time. I also just wanted to mention about our partners who are instrumental. When you look at this picture, this is a demo farm of our DRG, which is actually being produced on site. And also wanted to mention Get Invest, who've been instrumental in helping us develop this fuel into off-grid energy solutions. And all this will be running on Telos, which is a blockchain infrastructure system. And in addition, this is apart from the people presenting today, there's a whole array of the team behind us who are experts in their own disciplines.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Now we jump into the question straightforward. And unfortunately, I have to cut this part from 7.5 minutes to only 4 minutes because we're significantly not in timing. So get this session started. Please, the experts, your questions.
So thank you for that, inspiring presentation. Again, another team with a huge level of energy and enthusiasm behind this. So hats off. What are the main barriers you need to overcome? Is it the technology? Is it the funding? Is it, what are the key barriers that you're facing?
Well, thank you. So one of the key barriers is actually funding, because with any energy project, it's all about high volume, low margins. That's actually how we can effectively tackle this fight against wood fuel supply in the market. So we want to use funding to leverage to actually scale up rapidly.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much for the presentation, guys. I have a question just related to the market for biomass briquettes specifically, and whether there are any other sort of suppliers who are competing directly against you just on that product.
Okay, thank you for that question. In the industry, when we actually look at just from the demand side, it's actually 5,000 tons per day that is required to sustain the industry. And those who are supplying sustainably sourced biomass fuel in the form of briquettes are not more than 600 tons per day. So there's a big gap which is being filled by wood fuel. So our business model is actually directed. Our main threat is actually wood fuel, and we want to price our our solution to actually displace or substitute wood fuel in the market.
Thanks all for your presentation. It was actually very inspiring for me personally. I have a couple of clarifying. How do you say it?
Clarifying.
Thank you. Question. The first question is, how is the land throughout Kenya in which you would potentially produce the energy crop conducive to producing energy crops? So what kind of setup is needed to produce energy crops, and are you able to do that throughout the whole of Kenya, or is there only specific regions that the land is the most able to produce those crops? And my second question is, you said that you want to be able to export it, I think in the second phase. I guess where are you trying to export it to? Is it to other countries in Africa? Have you spoken to anybody else in terms of if there's any type of competition in other countries in Africa?
Okay, thank you very much for your question. So if you look at the ratio of land type, especially in Kenya, over 68% or so is actually arid and semi-arid land. So this energy crop is actually earmarked to actually unlock that area because it's underutilized at the moment. And when we talk about export, we actually want to target like European markets where they're actually now transitioning from being coal dependent, because this is also a substitution to coal. So it can most, like in Denmark, for example, in Denmark, they've actually repurposed their coal power plants to run on biomass in the form of pellets, which we will also want to target and actually supply that market as well.
I think we also need to mention that we're now putting formerly arid and semi-arid land that is not in use because it's not viable for agricultural produce. And then you irrigate that land to plant. Please remember, DRG stands for drought-resistant grass. So it's actually made exactly for that land and to be grown under irrigation. So we're actually opening up more land.
Thank you so much, Wecol guys. It was great presentations. Thank you, experts, for your clarifying questions, and thank you for answers, of course, team.